To understand the Shidduch-Crisis, we need to know several things. First is that Hasidim marry same age, 18 to 18, while in the yeshiva world, he starts at age 23 and she starts at 19. So it's 23 to 19 versus 18. The other thing we need to know is there's something called population increase. Baruch Hashem, there's at least a 5% population increase, which means 1,000 born this year, 1,050 next year, 1,100, 1,150. Assuming the same amount of boys and the same amount of girls are born annually, so it would look like this. 1,000 boys and 1,000 girls born this year, 1,050 next year, 1,100, 1,150, 1,200. By Hasidim, in 18 years from now, 1,000 will meet 1,000. In 19 years from now, 1,050 will meet 1,050. In 20 years from now, 1,100 will meet 1,100, and so on. Theoretically, everybody would find the Shidduch, because you're putting the same amount of boys and the same amount of girls on Shidduch Island. However, in the Yeshivish world, where there's a 4-year age gap, as we said before, he starts at 23 and she starts at 19, so if we move 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1,000 would meet 1,200. The best Shadchanim would only be able to do 1,000 Shidduchim. 200, Chas v'Shalom, stay behind. Next year, 1,050 with 1,250, again 200, 20%. Next year, 1,100 with 1,300, again 20%. There's an extra 20% would Chas v'Shalom stay on Shidduch Island and they have no one to marry. There is another statistic we need to know, which is that it's a world statistic that there are 5% more males than females born every year. Therefore, it looks a little different. Well, assuming with 5% more, we look at it this way. You have 1,050 boys born the same year as 1,000 girls. Now, and next year, 1,100 with 1,050 is always 5% more males than females born annually. That's why Hasidim have a problem with the boys, because there's 5% more being put onto Shidduch Island annually. However, getting back to the yeshiva world, which we are discussing now, we're talking about a 4-year age gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a true picture of what's really going on. You have 1,050 boys having 1,200 to choose from. Next year it's 1,100 to 1,250, and next year it's 1,150 to 1,300. There's always 15% that cannot find Shidduch. To prove this, we surveyed the actual amount of yeshivish students in Monsey, how many 9-year-old girls are in 4th grade and how many 13-year-old boys are in the 8th grade now, which is a 4-year age gap. We found that there's 352 9-year-old girls in the 4th grade and 297 13-year-old bar mitzvah boys in 8th grade. Move the clock ahead 10 years, you have 352 19-year-old girls coming to Shidduch Island with 297 23-year-old. That's 55 short. 55 of 352 is 15.6%. Now we would go to Lakewood, where there's a 7% population increase coming out. Which means 1,000 born this year, 1,070 next year, 1,140, 1,210, 1,280, 1,350. Now, although the boys, we said before, it's always 5% more. They start with 1,050, 1,120, 1,190, 1,260, 1,330, 1,400. Now, when we move this 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, here's what's happening. 1,280 19-year-old girls come to Shidduch Island with 1,050 23-year-old boys. That's 230 short. Next year, it's 1,330, age 19, coming to Shidduch Island with 1,120. 1,350 minus 1,120, again, 230. Next year, 1420 with 1190 is again 230. There's always 23% short. To prove this, we went to take a survey of the amount of yeshivish students in Lakewood. We found there's 1,135 9-year-old girls in 4th grade in Lakewood right now, and there's 890 bar mitzvah boys in 8th grade right now. Move the clock ahead 10 years, you have 1,135 19-year-olds coming to Shidduch Island with 890 23-year-olds. That's 245 short. 245 of 1135 is 21.6% in danger of chas v'shalom staying single. Now, let's take actual numbers, what's going on right now. There is 1,700 23-year-old boys that just turned 23 in 2015, and there are 2,060 Beis Yaakov graduates that turned 19 this year. So it's 2,000 getting only 1,700 boys. So there's what's going to happen with these 300 is pretty obvious, which is 15%. And if we go with the 5% population increase and we backtrack this, so that means there's 300 19-year-olds in danger, and from last year there's 285 20-year-olds, and from the year before there's 270 21, 255 22, 240 23-year-olds. That's a total of 1,350 girls from this few years right now. After explaining this to the Yeshivas, Rabbanim, they recently signed, now over 90 Rabbanim signed a Kol Koireh asking the Bachram and their parents should start listening to Shidduchim at age 21, so that we can bring into Shidduchim the 1,822-year-olds and the 1,921-year-olds, and the crisis will, be'ezras Hashem, be over. Now, the person must consider, have to listen to the pain that these boys and their parents are causing by waiting until 23. Listen to halacha. Halacha is very clear that boys should start younger. Look at this Kol Koireh, which was recently signed, saying that Bachram should start at age 21. Therefore, the only way to stop this crisis is by Bachram and their parents to listen to Shidduchim at age 21. The numbers in Monsey and Lakewood were confirmed by the Lakewood office at the Torah Msorah Convention. This year's numbers of 2,060 19-year-olds for only 1,723-year-olds were taken from the Avichai Foundation. The numbers of 0 Beis Yaakov girls staying single will be taken from the boys and their parents that are listening to Shidduchim by age 21. Laman B'nois Yisrael, please start reading Shidduchim to the younger boys. Be'ezras Hashem, everybody should find their Shidduch b'mheira v'yemeinu. We will all be zeicher to the big simcha. V'biyas Mashiach tzidkeinu b'mheira. Amen.